One.
Welcome to Channel 5 News. I'm Sofia Osorio.
And I'm Tyrell Thompson.
And today we'll be talking to you guys about the Guatemalan Civil War.
We'll be going back to the beginning and taking you through the historical events that Guatemala faced.
Stay tuned.
Colonel Jacobo Arbenz was born on September 14, 1913 in Quetzaltenango. His dad was a Swiss-German pharmacist who immigrated to Guatemala in 1901. He applied, passed the test, and entered as a cadet in 1932. His father committed suicide 2 years later. Colonel Jacobo Arbenz later became the president of Guatemala in 1951 through 1954. I think Arbenz has to go.
General Jorge Ubico was a dictator who came to power in 1930 backed by the United States and began the most brutal repressive military juntas in Central American history. On July 1, 1944, Ubico resigned from office. During the 1960s and 70s, American military and training made Guatemala's army the strongest and most sophisticated in Central America. This is the origin of the kill machine that operates in Guatemala today. I'm here with Meli Ishil, and she has agreed to be interviewed today. What do you remember about the Green Berets?
Well, they were very harmful for my people. They were a group of men, army, and they were very strong. And they killed many of my uncles and nephews, did much harm to my family.
Signing off, Tyrell Thompson.
We are here live at a place near the National Palace. Exactly in October 1979 years ago, where the October Revolution happened. Soldiers and students were led by Arbenz and Arana, and they led a revolution and overthrew the president at the time. We are now going to interview some of those students and soldiers. Hello, fellow viewers. Today we'll be interviewing an indigenous woman who seems to be very affected by the October Revolution. Tell us a little bit about it. What is your name?
Ishtatuk.
And how do you think your family and even you were affected by this October Revolution?
Well, my son was very affected by this. He was in school and they came and they took him.
They took him. How do you think that all your family had a very impact, like a severe impact and emotional feelings about this?
They were very scared for my son.
How did the town react to this?
They had an uproar and they were scared.
Many Guatemalans suffered kidnappings, torture, and massacre at the hands of the government.
In March 1995, the Clinton administration, as a result of General Harbury's hunger strike in front of the White House, suspended military training for Guatemalan Army officers.
¡Aviso! Camine. Camine. Si hablan les vamos a volar la cabeza.
We'll be back with more after this commercial. Colgate, triple acción, tan fácil como 1, 2, 3, que deja tu sonrisa recomienda Colgate.
Born in Huehuetenango in 1926, Montt joined the army and was a young officer when President Jacobo Arbenz was deposed in a CIA-backed military coup in 1954. Although he was overthrown in 1983, he is considered to have had a major impact on the conflict through the so-called Guns and Beans campaign.
General Efrain Diaz Montt came to power in the 1982 disposition of the government. He was one of the most savage Guatemalan dictators. Rios Montt moved the war from urban areas to the countryside to fight against mostly indigenous Indians.
Rios Montt was overthrown in August in 1983.
The United Fruit Company felt the biggest effects from the changes in Guatemala.
The United Fruit Company workforce consisted of primarily Guatemalan men who came from the areas outside of the department where the United Fruit Company had operations in.
Because of the United Fruit Company's virtual monopoly on transportation and bananas, it became a target not only of the government, but of other leaders looking to reassert Guatemala's sovereignty.
The work conditions were not always ideal for the workmen. The United Fruit Company workforce consisted of primarily Guatemalan men who came from the areas outside of the departments where the United Fruit Company had operations in. The United Fruit Company mostly exported bananas.
It was the largest single employer in Guatemala.
We'll be back with more after this commercial.
One of the best toilets you can have. American Standard.
American Standard's the best. It flushes perfect.
In 1994, a United Nations Human Rights Verification Mission was established to monitor human rights in Guatemala. It is called MINUGUA. Because of the war in Guatemala, 38% of urban women and 56% of rural women are widows.
The war against Guatemala still involves guns, bombs, and human rights abuses, but the war in the 1990s is also an economic war against the poor. Guatemala today stands on the extreme of a long-awaited peace agreement. The government and representatives of all the sectors of society have been negotiating conditions for a peace treaty.
Americans can help this process by demanding the U.S. government to stop the guns. They also demand support for political and economic reforms.
And they also want to end the decade-old war against the Guatemalan people.
And that's our report on the Guatemalan Civil War.
We'll see you again here next time.
Signing off, Sofia Osorio
and Tyrell Thompson.